Okay, we should be good to go. Make sure my audio is working. Okay, we're good. What's up, everybody? Appreciate y'all being here. Little Saturday stream, little 5-game slate. Figured we'd go live a little bit later today, 8 o'clock Eastern time, lock time tonight. So figured I'd go live an hour later. You know, with it being with me going live at 5 Eastern, feel like we're probably gonna have a little bit more people tune in. It's a little bit later in the day, so people are probably making lineups right now, looking at the slate. So yeah, appreciate you guys being here as always. I normally stream for about an hour. For those of you that are new, I normally go live for about an hour, just answer all you guys' questions, talk through the slate. Definitely some interesting stuff because now in Memphis, we've got a lot of guys resting on Memphis. A lot of guys have been ruled out for the Grizzlies. Kyle Anderson, Dylan Brooks, Brandon Clark, Grayson Allen are all out. So there's going to be some value worth talking about from Memphis. Guys like D'Anthony Melton, Desmond Bane, Xavier Tillman, I think are all really good values. And I assume you probably see those three guys move into the starting lineup and start alongside Morant and Valanciunas. So really do like a lot of these Memphis guys. It's definitely, when I made my video last night, it was tough to find value, but that's kind of changed now. We do have some, good value from Memphis that's going to allow us to get in those top tier studs like Damian Lillard, LeBron, Westbrook, Beal, etc. Shout out Noah, aka Mr. Value. Hey, I appreciate that, Chris. Hey, just a heads up, guys. I don't want. Oh, okay. So there it is, David. $4.99 super chat. Okay, so you should be seeing on the screen now. I did get an alert box, so I have a little LeBron GIF that should be popping up on the screen. You guys should see it right now. But thank you, David, for the $4.99 super chat. It says, "Get this cheese bread, boy." I appreciate that, brother. There it is. There's the alert. I just got the sound. So, guys, anytime you donate or anytime someone subscribes to the channel, it will pop up, on the screen. It's just another way to, recognize people that, do support the channel as always. I appreciate that, David. Thank you, man. What's good, Noah? How's your day been? Let's get some cash tonight. Really liking Memphis team. Yeah, it's hard not to like Memphis. Now that they're missing, 3-4 guys, there's gonna be some value worth targeting from the Grizzlies for sure. Especially, those 3 guys I mentioned. Those are all gonna be value plays we want to consider. Morant moved up in my projection model with all the sitting on Memphis. Yeah, I agree. I think, with all these guys out, high usage player like, Dylan Brooks out, that's gonna allow Morant to do even more. So yeah, I do like Morant quite a bit. Caruso or Melton? I'm going to prefer Melton now. I assume that Melton starts, so he's the guy that I like the most, between those two. Melton is a pretty productive player when he does get minutes, so he definitely has upside when he's getting minutes. I do like him quite a bit. And I assume he probably starts in place of Grayson Allen. Memphis just smells like a trap. I don't think so. They're missing 4 guys? I don't know. I don't know how many bodies they're gonna have. They're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, I don't know if Tim Frazier or Porter, or if they're even gonna play. Justice Winslow could maybe play, but I mean, it seems like they're gonna be running like a 9-man rotation. I mean, I like these Memphis guys, especially the cheap ones. They really look like good values. If Glenn Robinson sits, who likely absorbs his minutes, I mean, probably would be like Bielitsa, I'd assume. I mean, we got to wait and see what happens with the Kings. If we do get a scenario where Holmes, Barnes, and Robinson are all out, then yeah, there's going to be guys we want to target from the Kings. Bielitsa, Bagley, like maybe, I don't know who would start for Robinson in that case. I'd assume they run the same starting lineup they did last time if Barnes and Holmes are out. But, Robinson started last game, so if he were to sit, maybe we'd see Halliburton start. I don't think they would do that, but maybe, I really don't know who Sacramento has. They have that dude that came off the bench, that's Jeffries guy. He really hasn't played much this year, but he came off the bench and played pretty well. He would probably be the next man up to start if Robinson's out, I would assume. And he's only 3,100. I mean, I don't know much about Daquan Jeffries, but 3,100 starting, if he were to start for Glenn Robinson, yeah, I'd have some interest there. I like your buy low call on P.J. Washington from yesterday's vid. Yeah, P.J. Washington, it's just to a point where he's so cheap that he's eventually going to have a good game and pay off that price tag. I mean, he's not going to be as bad as he's been lately. Thoughts on Tillman? Yeah, I think Tillman's one of the better values right now. I assume he starts at power forward in place of Brandon Clark. I assume their starting lineup, Memphis' starting lineup, is going to be Morant, Melton, Bane, Tillman, and Joval. But maybe they start like Tyus Jones. If he were to start, he'd be a value. I don't think they're going to start anyone else over those guys. Maybe they'll do something and start like John Concha or whatever. He's only 3,200. I mean, maybe he could be a value. But I think it's going to be Morant, J-Val, Melton, Bane, and Tillman. I think that's going to be the starting lineup for Memphis. How many Memphis guys is too many? I mean, the cheap guys I don't really think really count. I think you can play 3, 4 of those cheap guys because they're so cheap. I mean, Melton's not that cheap, but Bane's under 4K. Tillman's really cheap. I could see playing 4, maybe even 5 guys from Memphis. 5 might be a little much, but I think 4 is totally fine. The dummy lineup I built earlier had 4 Memphis guys. I mean, obviously my lineup is probably going to change from now to a lot, but just a little dummy lineup I built had 4 Memphis guys. What's up, Noah? Let's talk about Bertans. Yeah, I mean, I do like Bertans. He's still really cheap on Yahoo. I don't know if I can play Bertans on Draftkings because he's almost 6K. But yeah, $14 on Yahoo. Bertans has finally been scoring, finally been knocking down shots. I mean, he is someone that, he's a streaky scorer, but when he gets going, man, Bertans can put up big games. It's just, if we get a scenario where Holmes and Barnes are out again, I think I'm going to prefer Bielitsa and Bagley over Bertans. You like Wendell Carter from the Bulls? I mean, not really. Last night, he came out pretty hot against Embiid and did pretty well. He had 12 or 13 DK points in the first 7 or 8 minutes, and then he really didn't do much after that. It's obviously a way better matchup tonight. On the back-to-back, I'm kind of worried about Wendell Carter since he's coming off an injury. I'm honestly kind of surprised he's playing. I wouldn't be surprised if we get word that Wendell Carter's going to be out, but yeah, I think there's just so many other center guys guys at center I'd rather target, especially in that 6K, 7K range with J-Val, Enes Kanter, Ayton. Those are the centers I'm looking to tonight. And if you want to go cheap, you could play Xavier Tillman too. You like Bagley tonight? Yeah, I do. If Holmes and Barnes are out again, I like Bagley. If Holmes and Barnes play, I'm probably going to be off of Sacramento mostly, except De'Aaron Fox. I think De'Aaron Fox is just too cheap. But the rest of the guys I don't have that much interest in if they're back to full strength. Because Bagley's been so good this year on a point-per-minute basis, but Luke Walton just hates playing him. Luke Walton was basically forced to play him last time because they didn't really have anyone else. But, if they get Barnes back, if they get Holmes back, I mean, Bagley could play 20 minutes again, and I wouldn't be surprised. He could go back to playing 20 minutes. I'm probably going to play Ayton to run it back with all of those Memphis guys. Ayton's too cheap. I'd agree there. I think Ayton definitely, he's one of my favorite center plays for sure. Especially on Yahoo. Ayton's really cheap over there. Please let the cheap Grizzlies be chalk so I can clean up on the fade. I mean, you do you, man, but I think I'm going to have at least probably 2 or 3 Grizzlies in my lineup. The cheap guys, for sure. I don't know if I'm gonna be paying up for Morant or Valanciunas yet, but definitely gonna have probably Bane and Tillman on DK. On Yahoo, Tillman for $10 and save the money, or Ayton for $24. What's your insight there? I mean, they're different positions. Tillman's power forward, so yeah, it just comes down to your roster construction. Mark Bray with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Mark. He says, thanks, Noah. Squeezed in Embiid and Giannis. 325.75 cash, good in GPPs. 20 points out of first. Morant and Seth Curry got me. I feel you there, Mark. Morant, I did play on Yahoo. I didn't play him on DK. I don't think I played him on DK, but yeah, Seth Curry. God, Seth Curry killed me last night. Once Ben Simmons got ruled out, I played Seth Curry on both sites. And the freaking Raptors guys too, man. Siakam and Van Vliet, they were so disappointing last night. Tillman or Melton? I mean, Melton's a more productive player. Like, when you factor in salary, I think I would probably rather play Tillman because he's so much cheaper. Melton probably scores more points, but I think when you factor in salary, I'd rather go to Tillman. What about Oubre? He's been doing good. I mean, yeah, Oubre's fine. Like, I don't know on this slate if I'm going to really get to Kelly Oubre. I think there's other guys I'd probably rather target over him personally. Mark, I bet we had damn close to the same lineup. Yeah, I mean, you could have. I didn't get to Embiid on Draftkings, but I did play him on Yahoo. I had, if I can remember my lineup, I had Curry. Let me pull up my DK lineup real quick. It was not good last night for DK. Yahoo, I almost got squeezed into the cash, but I missed by like 4 or 5 points. I just need a little bit more from Van Vliet and Siakam. On DK, I finished with 261.75 or 261.25 last night. I did play Ja Morant, Curry, Tatum, Cedi Osman, Hernan Gomez, Van Vliet, Reddish, and Siakam. That was my DK lineup. No Embiid, so got bit there. Did not play Embiid on DK. Took the L on that one. Favorite stud tonight? I mean, it's probably Dame if I can get up to him. And I think with this Memphis value opening up, it should be pretty easy to get there now. Of the guys above 10K, it's Dame for me. It just sucks because point guard, there's a lot of good mid-range options at point guard. Fox, Chris Paul I like, Ja Morant. So, you're going to have to make some decisions. This does feel like a site where I'm probably going to be playing 3 point guards. Problem is, Ayton hasn't been good so far this season. I mean, yeah, he's not been good, but he's at least been better lately. And he did have a pretty big game last night. He had a big double-double. Like, when Ayton's playing 35, 36 minutes, I mean, he can give you 40-plus Draftkings points. You like Bradley Beal? I think he's viable, but I'd rather probably play Westbrook. I'd rather play LeBron and Lillard, I think. Definitely Lillard. So, Beal's not my favorite pay-up option. There's some other guys I'd rather have over him. Just got here and noticed the Grizzlies have the same starters out who you'll be targeting. Yeah, I think honestly, their entire starting lineup's going to be in play for me, assuming that it's Bane, Tillman, and Melton moving into the starting lineup. I think all 3 of those guys are in play, plus Jonas Valanciunas and Morant are good plays as well. And some of the bench guys you could target, but I think it's going to be a wait and see to see who starts. I think their starting lineup is going to be really important. And if it is those 5 guys, I think all 5 of those guys are in play. On DraftKings, Bane and Tillman are my favorite, given their value. I think we probably get 30 minutes from both guys, if not more. I hit a big parlay yesterday with plus 500 odds. 76ers, Celtics, Clippers to win. Clippers game stressed me out. Hey, good job, man. Good job. I didn't watch much of that game, but I'm assuming that the Clippers came out ahead. Hard not to like the cheap Memphis options. A lot of them have good points per minute, but have never gotten huge minutes like they will tonight. Yeah, that is very true. I mean, Memphis, they've always, basically the whole season, they've spread out the minutes, but yeah, tonight they're a lot more thin than they have been. So I think we're going to get, probably 30 minutes from guys like Bane, Tillman, Melton, maybe even Tyus Jones gets like mid to high 20s. The minutes are going to be, they're tough to predict right now until we see a starting lineup. Once we see a starting lineup, I think it'll be easy to pick where we want to go, or be easier to pick where we want to go. Lillard and cash, I mean, yeah, Lillard's obviously cash viable, especially now that we have this Memphis value that you're going to want to get in. It's pretty easy to get to Lillard. Who's your favorite for shooting guard? I mean, on DraftKings, it's probably Desmond Bane. He's shooting guard eligible, and he's only 3,800, assuming that he starts for Allen or Anderson. How do you feel about Patrick Williams? I mean, not that much interest on this slate. I think there's other guys I'd probably rather go to. Like, I just haven't really played Patrick Williams much this year, outside of like very early on in the season. Draymond viable as a last piece. I'm totally fine with Draymond as a last piece. He doesn't feel like one of those guys I'm really going out of my way to play. But yeah, as a last guy in, I'm totally fine with that. I have 9.3K left for shooting guard. Who do you like? It'd probably be Zach LaVine. He's 9,200, so you might as well play him there. THT or Caruso? I think Caruso probably gets more minutes. I think THT is the more productive player. So, I feel like Caruso is probably the safer option. I feel like his minutes are way more secure just because, without Dennis Schroeder, he got almost 30 minutes last game, and I'd assume, close to that today. So I'd probably take Caruso there. Thoughts on LaVine? Yeah, LaVine's totally viable. Is he a top option for me? I don't think so. I think I'd rather have Dame. Probably rather have LeBron. I do, like those 8K guards, the 7K guards like Chris Paul, Morant, De'Aaron Fox. I'd probably rather have those guys over LaVine. But, yeah, LaVine's probably going to be lower owned on this slate. I don't think he's going to be that popular. So, if you want to go to him in tournaments, for sure can. And it's a really good matchup. If Richaun Holmes plays, do you think he's a cash play versus the Bulls? Depends what his price is. I haven't really looked at him today. He's 5,700. I don't know if I'd go there in cash. I think in cash at center, you're probably going to be trying to get like Kanter, Valanciunas, or Ayton, or you're going to be paying down for Xavier Tillman. But I guess Holmes would definitely be in play for me in tournaments if he's playing. In cash, I don't know if I'd go there in cash, even in a good matchup. LaVine or Westbrook? I think I'd take LaVine there. LeBron or Dame on Yahoo? Give me Dame, but I do like LeBron a lot more on Yahoo because he helps to fill, the small forward position. And small forward is always tough on Yahoo, so I prefer Dame just straight up, but I think I'm probably going to have, LeBron will be the guy I prefer because of the position, but if you're talking just straight up, give me Dame. In your heart of hearts, do you think Holmes and Barnes are out? I really have no idea. Like, for now, I think I'm just going to assume they're going to be out, but I really don't know. Luckily, it's a 9 o'clock game. It's the third game of the slate. We might have news on that before lock. Might, I don't know. Should we worry about a blowout and pulling the top Suns players if Memphis can't play up to Suns? I'm not too worried about. What's the spread right now? Right now, the Suns, let's see what they're favored by. Suns are favored by 7.5. That's not like a crazy line. So, yeah, they're favored by 7. So, it's not like they're like 13-point favorites or something. I don't think we should be too worried about that. Good for things to be back to normal here in Texas. Watching your content. Thoughts on creating how to create a lineup with Westbrook, Beal, Morant, Paul together? Let's see if you were to do that. I don't know what that would leave you. Westbrook, Beal, Paul. I feel like it's gonna be tough to do that, but that leaves you 3650. Even if you play like a couple of those cheap Grizzlies, you're still gonna be kind of scraping the barrel. Like, even if you play Tillman and Bane, what does that leave you with? That leaves you with 3,700 left. And I don't know if there's any like cheaper guys down here. I guess you could play like an Alex Caruso. Well, no, you couldn't get him in because you don't have any more guard spots. Yeah, it's really tough. You're gonna have to play guys like THT who are viable, but I don't know if they're top options for me. I would say you could play Tyus Jones there, but you don't have any more guard spots. I don't know if I'd be going that route. I think that's going to be pretty tough to build a lineup that way. Especially since there is good value at guard. You don't want to be, spending up a ton, with all your guard spots. You have 6 Memphis players in your lineup right now. That might be a little bit too much, but I think 5 would be the max for me, 100%. I don't think I'd play more than 5. You think the Heat-Lakers game is low scoring? The total right now I don't think is that. Right now it's got a 208 total. It's got the lowest total on the slate, so it could be. But I don't think you're going to fade that game. I think there's still good plays to target there. Specifically like Jimmy Butler, LeBron, Caruso could be a value. 7.5 is a lot. I don't really think so, David. anytime if a spread is double digits, then yeah, I start to get worried about a blowout. But anything under double digits, I don't really get too worried about blowout. So Noah, shout out here from the Philippines. Hey man, I appreciate you watching all the way from the Philippines. I appreciate that. You like Canner most for tonight's slate or Ayton? I think I lean Ayton, but it's really close. I think those are probably my two favorite centers. Especially when you factor in price, I think Canner and Ayton give you plenty of upside for their price tag. And Joe Val you could put in there as well. But Canner and Ayton I think play a few more minutes than Joe Val, which make them a little bit more appealing. I think I'd go Ayton though. You're playing the entire Memphis lineup. Is that too much? Honestly, I don't think so. If they go with that starting lineup, if they start Morant, Melton, Bane, Tillman, J-Val, like the other day when the Nuggets had like Campazzo, Green starting, I played their whole starting lineup. I played Jamal Murray, Michael Porter, Green, Campazzo, and Jokic. I played all 5 guys in one lineup. It didn't really work. I mean, I won't say it didn't work out, but yeah, I got a bad game from JaMychal Green. MPJ wasn't great, but you could definitely get good games from all of those guys for their price tags. Obviously, I'm not expecting Xavier Tillman to go out there and drop 50, but if he gives you 25 at 3,400, I mean, he's a really good play. Same with Bane, same with D'Anthony Melton. Although you will need a little bit more from Melton because he is more expensive. Caruso will be okay. He isn't great. Miami's good defensively. He'll get about 15 to 20. I mean, yeah, Caruso's upside's not that high, but the minutes should be higher now that, Dennis Schroeder's out. He did play like 26 last game, and it was a blowout too, so he lost some minutes in blowout. Thoughts on this lineup for now? Hero, Melton, Bane, Tillman, Ayton, Dame, Draymond, and Morant for 50-50s. I mean, that looks pretty solid in my opinion, Dylan. It's pretty solid. From the Philippines here too, going to play Ayton, LeBron, and Lillard on Yahoo. Hey, appreciate you tuning in, Rafael from the Philippines. And, I'm fine with all 3 of those guys tonight. Ayton, LeBron, and Lillard. Nunn or Melton. I think if Melton's starting, I think I'd give the edge to him because he's a pretty productive player when he gets minutes. Nunn's probably going to play more minutes, but I think Melton's the more productive player. Love the content, mate. Big fan from England. I appreciate that, man. Thoughts on Fox, Levine, Bane, Bagley, Bielitsa, Morant, Oubre, and Temple? I mean, it all depends on if Holmes and Barnes are out. Like, if they both play, I'm not going to Bagley and I'm not going to Bielitsa. But if they're both out again, then yeah, Bagley, Bielitsa, totally fine with them. They'd be 2 really good options. Conchar is a sleeper Memphis guy. I mean, yeah, I could see him getting, decent minutes off the bench. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they start him. That seems like something they're going to do. I feel like I'm pretty confident that Bane's going to start. I'm pretty confident that Tillman's going to start, but I really don't know if they're going to start Melton or if they're going to start Conchar or Tyus Jones might start. I really don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Bagley or Kuz on Yahoo. If Barnes and Holmes are out again, give me Bagley. Does Patreon charge card every month or do I have to pay manually? Also been a member for 2 weeks. It's taken a load off my shoulders so I can focus on finding value. Thanks a lot, man. And I'm glad to hear that, Chris. So yeah, Patreon they charge every month at the first of the month. And if you ever want, you can always cancel your membership at any time. But yes, they do charge at the first of every month. How do you feel about Oubre? Is it a good matchup with Charlotte? I mean, like I said, Oubre I don't think is really someone I'm going to be going out of my way to play today. He's kind of fine as the last piece in, but really I don't like too much from the Warriors. I think Draymond's viable, but I really don't like many Warriors today. THT or Tillman for last man in? Give me Tillman, especially if he's starting. Dame, Butler, Fox, my core, and I enjoy your daily drops. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, Dame, Butler, and Fox, I'm totally fine with all 3 of those guys tonight. No problems with that core. Is Thaddeus Young a good play? I mean, I haven't really even looked at Thaddeus Young. There's really not much I like from the Bulls outside of Levine. Thoughts on Derrick Jones Jr.? Yeah, I thought going into the day, I was going to play Derrick Jones Jr. most likely because he was a value play that I did have some interest in. He was going to get over 30 minutes most likely. He was still somewhat cheap, but now that we have better value opening up from Memphis, guys that project for just the same as Derrick Jones, if not better, and they're cheaper, yeah, I think I'm going to prefer the Memphis guys over Derrick Jones now. Give me Bane for cheaper over DJJ. What do you think about Monk? I mean, yeah, Malik Monk's, I think, a lower owned tournament option. Without Devontae Graham, I mean, he should get more minutes. His price is up, though. I think he's $5K now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's up to $5K on DK. I mean, he still has upside. We've seen Malik Monk put up, big games off the bench, but I don't know if Malik Monk's really like a first guy in for me. Just another kind of like last piece I'd be fine with. Caruso, THT, or Tillman, who'd you pick? I'd take Tillman. You the man, Noah. Keep doing what you do. Lillard, Cantor, Bane, Dre, and Bagley. Thoughts? I mean, yeah, I'm fine with all 5 of those guys. Obviously, Bagley depends on if Holmes and Barnes play, but yeah, fine with all 5 of those. Appreciate the compliment, John. Thank you, man. We think about Bertans, low owned at high upside, running it back with Damon Cantor. Yeah, like I said earlier, I think I like Bertans more on Yahoo, where he's a lot more affordable. On Draftkings, he's almost $6K, so it's a little bit tougher to get there. Reggie Johnson with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Reggie. Should have a little LeBron thing popping up. Appreciate that, Reggie. Appreciate that, man. You didn't leave a message, but I appreciate the $5 super chat. It says they're starting McDermott for Memphis. Well, I haven't seen anything yet. I mean, that might. I looked at Fantasy Lab's projected starting lineup, and they had it as Morant, Melton, Bane, Tillman, and J-Val. So, obviously, the projected starting lineup and the actual starting lineup that they run could be totally different. But, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, McDermott starts or, John Contra starts. But just something to keep an eye on. But, yeah, we don't have their starting lineup yet, and I don't think we're going to get it till probably after lock, if not close to 8. Bad idea to play both LeBron and Lillard tonight. I mean, no. If you can get them in, for sure, I think those are 2 really good pay-up options. How's this as of now? Fox, Levine, Bane, Bertans, Tillman, Dame, Bagley, and Caruso. I think that's pretty solid, Nick. I'm fine with that. Chris Paul or Ja Morant. I think now with all these Memphis guys out, I prefer Ja Morant. But it's pretty close. Dave Gant with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Dave Gant. Again, you didn't leave a message, but I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. You think between Rocco and Crowder, who has the better upside? I mean, I feel like both guys are kind of similar plays in that, in order for them to spike a big game, they have to knock down like 5 or 6 threes. They have to get a couple steals. I mean, I feel like both are similar players. It's a better matchup for Rocco. It's a better game environment, so I think I'd prefer Covington. Draymond or Oubre? Between those, give me Draymond. McDermott, just a projection on RotoWire. RotoWire misses on their projections as much as they are right. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's what Fantasy Labs had a different starting lineup, but in the end, it's all they're just guessing. They're just going to guess what the team does. We don't really know till the team actually announces it. Favorite GPP plays? Feel like there's going to be pretty concentrated ownership with the Memphis guys and Lillard, Westbrook. Yeah, I mean, the Memphis guys, especially the value, is going to be popular. I think for tournaments, I still think LaMelo's a really good tournament option. His price has gotten to a point where he's not going to really project well. If you look at any projection sites, LaMelo's not really going to pop in projections, but he still has 50-point upside every night, and he's getting big minutes with Devontae Graham out. So I do still really like LaMelo in tournaments. I think Zach LaVine in tournaments makes a lot of sense. Yeah, but Dame's probably going to be popular. LeBron will be somewhat popular. I think you're good. Like the chalky build tonight is probably going to be to play those Memphis values and then pay up for Dame. Cantor or Ayton? Yeah, we mentioned that earlier. It's really close. I think I prefer Ayton, but it's really close. Appreciate you, says Dave. Hey, Dave, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate the $5 super chat again. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Lillard, Hero, THT, Draymond, J-Val, Melton, Bane, and Cantor. That looks pretty solid right now. Check out Damian Lee. I mean, I haven't really even considered Damian Lee on this slate. I don't know what he's been doing recently because I haven't been playing him. I mean, he got 21 minutes last night. Got 25 minutes the night before that. I don't really know why we'd want to be going to Damian Lee right now. In his last 10 games, he only has 2 games over 20 fantasy points. I don't think Damian Lee's someone we really want to consider on this slate. Unless some guys were to get ruled out from the Warriors, I don't really see any interest to play Damian Lee. The other day, I played 4 Rockets players and crushed that night. I mean, yeah, there'll be nights when a team is shorthanded and you play 4 or 5 guys from that team, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But I have a feeling I'm going to be playing at least probably 2 or 3 Memphis guys tonight. You prefer LaMelo or Levine for cash? $1 difference on Yahoo. Probably LaMelo. I just love playing LaMelo. LaMelo's just one of those guys you're just watching the game and you're just seeing him. It seems like every play he's either grabbing or every possession he's either grabbing a rebound, he's getting an assist. I mean, he's just always doing something. LaMelo's just so productive when he's on the floor and he can put up a triple double any night. Hit that like button, you slackers. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. Thank you all for being here on this Saturday. Appreciate you being here. Hit that like button. If Melton does not start, do you like him? I'd be less interested. I think he would still be viable just because, Memphis is shorthanded. Melton still probably gets like 22, 24 minutes off the bench. But yeah, I'm going to like him more if he started because I think the minutes would be higher if he's in the starting lineup. And I'd feel better about the minutes. Minutes are just the thing for Melton. He doesn't, he's going to be productive when he's out there. It's just a matter of how many minutes he plays. But yeah, if he's not starting, I would lower my interest. Westbrook or LeBron? I think I'd prefer LeBron on this slate. The two guys I like most above 10K are LeBron and Dame. Curry, I'm not that interested in. Westbrook, I think, is in play. Probably would prefer like LeBron, Lillard over Westbrook though. How'd your lineup do last night? I said it earlier, Nathan. Finished with 261.25, I think. Did not have a great night last night. And on Yahoo, I just missed out. I think I finished with like 304 or something. I was like 5 points off the cash line last night on Yahoo. But yeah, DK, I got railed. Had Siakam, had Van Vliet, had Seth Curry. Did not have Embiid, so that just shows you how it went. Caruso or Tyus Jones? I mean, if Tyus Jones is starting, I'd rather play Tyus Jones. If Tyus Jones comes off the bench, I think both guys are kind of similar. I think Jones is a more productive player than Caruso, so honestly, he might be the better option over Caruso. How do you feel about Garrett Temple or Derrick Jones Jr.? I mean, yeah, both guys I don't think are really great values. If I had to pick one, I'd rather have Derrick Jones Jr. Like Garrett Temple, I don't really play Garrett Temple. I know he's been doing okay recently, but there's other values I'd rather have over him that give you more upside. Has Toscano Anderson's price come down enough to consider? I don't even know what his price is at this point. I haven't really been playing him. I mean, he's 4,100. I know he's been losing minutes lately. Like, he got 25 last night. He got 21 the night before that. He's not getting the big minutes like he was when he first started. He's a lot tougher to trust now. Like, I don't think he's going to be getting 30 minutes anymore. I think it's 22, 24 minutes. And he's a guy that, if he's not playing well, they'll let somebody else play over him. They'll give minutes to Pascal. They'll give minutes to Kent Bazemore, Michael Mulder. Like, they'll cut Toscano Anderson's minutes real quick. So, yeah, I don't have that much interest in him, even with the price coming down. How you feel about Bane tonight? Yeah, I think if Bane starts, I think he's a really good value. I assume he starts. If he doesn't, I'd be a little less interested, but Memphis is so shorthanded that Bane would still have to get, pretty good minutes off the bench. Feel like you're going to need 320-plus points to cash tonight? I mean, yeah, it could be one of those nights because there are, a lot of values that project well. Whenever there's slates like this where you have, 3K, 4K guys that project for 6, 7X, I mean, yeah, you're going to see some high scores. Small GPPs, LeBron, THT, or Bane. LeBron, THT, or Bane, Wiggins. I mean, give me LeBron, THT there. Beal or Levine on Yahoo. I mean, if you have the salary, I think get up to Beal. Risk a blowout with the Suns, Grizzlies. I mean, like I said earlier, it's just a 7-point spread. It's not like, the Suns are favored by 14 or something, so I'm not too worried about blowout there. I mean, if there was a game that would blow out, it probably would be that one, but I'm not building my lineups hoping for a blowout or expecting a blowout to be there. So, LBJ, Dame, and Jimmy get buckets, lock button. I mean, I really like LBJ and Dame. Jimmy I think is viable too, but I'd prefer like LeBron and Dame for sure. Thanks for the feedback, bro. All the way here in the Philippines. Dang, we got a lot of people watching from the Philippines. Thoughts on Monk or Temple? Yeah, again, like I think both are solid, or I wouldn't say solid. Both are okay values. I don't really have a ton of interest in either one. I guess if I had to play one there, it would be Malik Monk. But yeah, like those would just be like last pieces in for me. I don't think I'm going out of my way to play either one of those guys. I'm going to get a large burrito in a bit. Would you suggest veggie, steak, or chicken? Shoot, if you can get half chicken, half steak, that's the way to go. But if you can only play or pick one, I get steak there. Thoughts on Archie Payne or Jeffries only have 3,400 in Utah on DK? I mean, if Glenn Robinson is out and Jeffries starts, then I think Jeffries is probably the play there. Paul or Morant? I think I prefer Morant now with all these guys out for Memphis. I mean, the weight on Morant's shoulders is going to be even heavier tonight. Noah, you the real OG. Much love. Hey, I appreciate that, Brian. Thank you, man. Appreciate you being here. Curry or Lillard on Yahoo? Give me Lillard. Why do they start Garrison Matthews? I really have no idea. Same thing with their center rotation. Feels like whatever dude starts is going to be the guy that plays like the least amount of minutes. Like last game, Wagner started and he played 3 minutes. Minutes are hard to trust on that Washington team outside of Beal and Westbrook, and Bertans. His minutes are pretty secure, and Rui, I guess. Like the rest of the guys, I mean, you're just guessing. Who on the Heat besides Butler? I mean, really the only 2 guys I like on the Heat are Butler and Tyler Hero. On this slate, I don't think I'm really getting to Bam or really anyone else on Miami. You like my lineup? Morant, Melton, Levine, Bane, LeBron, Oubre, Tillman, Green, and Ayton. That looks pretty solid. LaMelo and Bagley or Curry and Derrick Jones Jr. or Temple? Give me LaMelo and Bagley. Thoughts on Curry over LeBron? I mean, I think Curry's going to be lower owned, so if you want to play the guy that's going to be lower owned, you can for sure do Curry there, but straight up, I'd rather get LeBron in over Curry. Half and half, I remember that as your move. I will try things. Hey, yeah, half and half's the way to go. Anytime I go to any place like that, like Chipotle or Moe's or something, I get half chicken, half steak if they let me. Moe's, I don't think lets you do that anymore, but Chipotle does. It's the best way to go, in my opinion. Morant or Fox? Give me Fox there. Like THT at all, played 28 minutes last game, and now Schroeder out and Kuzma might be limited. Well, Kuzma I think is going to be good to go. He's probable. He's expected to play. But yeah, with no Anthony Davis, with no Schroeder, I mean, the path for THT to get like 26, 28 minutes a night right now is definitely there. And I think he's kind of blowout proof. Like, I don't think the Lakers are going to get blown out tonight, but if they do, I still expect THT to be out there in a blowout. So, yeah, THT, I think you never know what the minutes are going to be like. Like the first game AD was out, THT literally played 5 minutes. Last game he played like 26. I mean, he could play 10, he could play 28 minutes. Like, you really don't know. He's risky, but I think, the upside's obviously there if he gets the minutes. But I feel a lot more confident in the Denver value not Denver, but the Memphis value because Memphis is, so shorthanded. Is Kuzma in play? I think he's in play on Yahoo. I'm not going to get to him on Draftkings. There's just too many other guys priced around him that I'd rather have, and Kuzma's just too expensive, honestly. Any Gorgie Jang love? I mean, I don't know if that, like, obviously Clark being out, affects Gorgie Jang, but I don't know how many minutes he's actually going to get. Like, are they going to play him alongside Valanciunas? Is he just going to be the backup to Joe Val? Like, if Joe Val plays 30 minutes, is Jang just going to play the other 18? Like, we don't really know. Like, if you tell me that they're going to play Jang and Valanciunas alongside each other, then yeah, I'd like Jang, but he's probably just going to get the backup minutes behind Valanciunas and nothing else. Unless they start Jang alongside Valanciunas, but I don't think they would do that. So in cash, you prefer Ja over Paul? Yeah, I think so. I think I'd lean with Ja now. You like Zeller versus Golden State? I mean, not really. Like, there's so many other centers I'd rather play. Ayton, Canner, Joe Val. I'd rather get all those guys over Zeller if I can. If it wasn't for DFS, Russ would be irrelevant in real life. His game has fallen off a cliff. It's sad to see. I mean, yeah, you could say that. I mean, Russ, I think, is still a great basketball player, but, he's definitely, I don't know. He's a guy that can stuff the stat sheet, but in the end, is he really helping you win games, I guess? It's like Russ, I saw a tweet, it was so true. Like, Russ, he can look like the best player on the court for 5 minutes, and then he can look like the worst player on the court. Like, in that Brooklyn game, when they went to they won that Brooklyn game, they made that comeback. Like, Russ looked so good in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game. I mean, he was knocking down threes. He was playing great defense. And then sometimes Russ will just drive to the hoop and just throw up bricks or taking bricks, shooting bricks and, throwing up terrible layups. I'm waiting for LeBron to pull out that Rolex and start recruiting, or Rolodex and start recruiting players. Hey, I think the Lakers will be just fine. Just let AD heal up. They'll make the playoffs. And once they get into the playoffs, they can start cruising then. Lakers are still one of the best teams in the league, in my opinion. They'll be there in the end. As long as they stay healthy, they're going to be there in the end. Oubre has back-to-back 40 fantasy points. Who can I pivot to on DK at util? I mean, I think Draymond, for a similar salary, you can definitely look to. Draymond is 6,600. Oubre 6,800. You could always play 8 and 2 for same price tag. I think I'd prefer those guys over Oubre, honestly. Noah, thanks for the content. Always reassuring my lineups. Hey, I appreciate that, Steven. Tonight we're rocking Lillard, Melton, CP3, LeBron, Tillman, Bane, Ayton, Bagley. I mean, yeah, that looks pretty good to me, Steven. I'm totally fine with that. Obviously, yeah, assuming that Barnes and Holmes are out. Thoughts on LeBron, Bane, Butler, Tillman, Ayton, Hero, Bielitsa, and Bagley? Yeah, just assuming those Kings guys are out, I think that's totally fine too. What's a good value for tonight? I mean, I think Memphis, they're the team we're looking to for value. They've got like 4 or 5 guys out tonight, so Bane, Tillman, Melton if he starts, Tyus Jones, like these guys are all solid values in my opinion. But, we're going to have to wait and see what their starting lineup is because that's going to change some things. Might as well just play Tillman in center, not really feeling too much on traditional center. What do you mean? Like, if you're saying about the Grizzlies, I think last time Clark was out, they started Tillman alongside Valanciunas. I know Tillman was their center, when J-Val was out for the COVID protocols, he was their starting center, but they've been willing to play him alongside Valanciunas, whereas Jang, I don't know if Jang's going to play alongside Valanciunas. Why don't you play on FanDuel? I mean, I play on DK, I play on Yahoo. I already have to manage lineups on those 2 sites, so I don't know if I really want to play on 3 different sites every night. It gets really stressful, especially, nights when there's a bunch of news that comes out late. You have to mix up or fix all these lineups, and you're having to work through 3 different sites. It can just be really stressful. Was it like 2 or 3 years ago when you could have played the whole Memphis starting lineup and win a GPP? Yeah, I think there was some day like that where Memphis was so shorthanded. Like there was like 6 Memphis guys in the winning lineup one day. It was a long time ago. I don't think I was even playing then. I just remember people talking about it. FanDuel Monk at a good price point, $4,400. I mean, it depends on the guy's price around him, but yeah, I think he'd be more appealing on FanDuel rather than like $5K on DraftKings. You ever play the Madden Sims on DK? They're pretty sweet. I have not, Brian. Never played the Madden Sims. I'm saying start Tillman at center rather than Ayton or Canner or Joval. Oh, I got you. Yeah, you could do that. On DraftKings, Tillman does have center eligibility, so yeah, that's totally fine. On Yahoo, Tillman's a power forward, and I think that makes him appealing as well because there are a lot of centers I like, so I don't have to, if I want to get Tillman in, I don't have to use my center spot on him. I can play him at power forward. Yahoo moved Draymond Green as center. Yeah, I saw that. It sucks. He's a lot less appealing now that he's center because there's so many other guys priced around him that look really good. Yeah, like Canner, Joval's the same price tag. Ayton's a lot cheaper. Like I'd rather have all those guys over Draymond on Yahoo. Kobe White versus Nunn. I mean, if I had to pick one of those 2 guys, I think I'd prefer Kobe White. I don't think either one are like top plays for me. I think they're, just fine as last pieces in. If I had to pick one, though, I think I'd go Kobe White. Just a better matchup, better game environment, fast-paced game. So, White's been pretty bad lately, but the upside I think is still there, especially in a good matchup like this. Which games are you least interested in? I mean, honestly, the first game, the Warriors and Hornets, I don't really like much in that game. I think on the Hornets side, Rozier and LaMelo, totally fine getting to them. I think P.J. Washington, if you want to buy low on him, totally fine. But, I don't really like any Warriors today. And outside of those 3 guys from Charlotte, there isn't much I like in the first 2. Honestly, the first 2 games are not that appealing. And then, the Miami-Lakers game, I think Jimmy Butler, hero on the Miami side, but nobody really else I'm interested in. On the Lakers, LeBron's obviously a really good play, but outside of LeBron, I don't really like much on the Lakers either. A lot of my exposure is going to come in those 9 o'clock games for sure. Especially if Barnes and Holmes are out again, I'm going to have a lot of Kings. I'm going to have a lot of Memphis guys. And then I'm going to jam in LeBron, jam in Dame. It's probably going to be the way I go tonight. But we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully we get some update on them Kings guys pretty soon. Bagley or Nunn at utility spot on Yahoo. If those Kings guys are out again, if Holmes and Barnes are out, give me Bagley all day there. Love Bagley again if those guys are out. I'm rolling with CP3, Hero, Bane, Tillman, Ayton, Fox, Bielitsa, Levine. Play 50-50s mostly in the big $4 GPP on DK. Looking to have another good night. So CP3, Hero, Bane, Tillman, Ayton, Fox. I mean, yeah, that looks pretty good to me. Obviously, Bielitsa, depends on if Barnes and Holmes play. But if Bielitsa's starting again, he's a really good play as well. Him and Bagley. The big question is going to be, if we do get word that Barnes and Holmes are out again, do you play the Kings guys or do you play the Memphis guys? I don't know if you're going to, because on DraftKings, Xavier Tillman's power forward center, Bielitsa's power forward center, Bagley's power forward center. I don't know if you'd be able to get all three of those guys in one lineup. You probably could, but then you'd be missing out on like Ayton or Ken or some of those other guys. THT or Contra, I think probably go THT there. Unless Contra gets announced as a starter, then I probably would take him because I feel more confident his minutes are there. But if both guys come off the bench, I think THT. I think he's a more productive player, so you just kind of hope that he gets the minutes. You like Bagley more than Whiteside if Holmes and Barnes are out again? Yeah, I think Bagley's a lot safer. Like Whiteside, the minutes weren't there last game, and Whiteside's never a player that needs a ton of minutes to produce. But it was obviously concerning that he only played like 16 minutes last game, or it might have been even less than that. Whereas Bagley, I think Bagley's going to get close to 30 minutes again if those guys are out. And Bagley, he's another guy, like he's obviously not as productive as Whiteside, but Bagley can produce when he gets minutes, especially when he's the starting center. Bielitsa will score 25 fantasy points, bench him tonight. We know the drill. Had him last game in cash. I mean, yeah, it seems like I don't know. Like Bielitsa has been, I know fantasy points are not everything, but Bielitsa looked really good in that game. He was scoring a ton. He barely has played this year. Like he barely gets any minutes. You could roll up the cheap dudes from Sacramento and Memphis and load up top money dudes. I mean, yeah, 100%. I mean, you could play like, assuming Bain and Tillman are starting, you could play them, and assuming Holmes and Barnes are out, you could play Bagley and Bielitsa again. I mean, there's 4 values, and now you've just got a ton of money to work with. LaMelo or Butler? Give me LaMelo. Big game from Cody Zeller. I mean, yeah, right now, outside of Draymond, the Warriors don't have any bigs, but like Zeller, I don't know, man. I just never feel like I have to play Cody Zeller. I know he had that stretch where he was putting up solid games, but I just feel like at the end of the night, I'm never like, damn, I wish I played Cody Zeller tonight. Like I just never feel like I have to do that or I have to play him. His upside is just minimal in my opinion. Can you run Rozier and Ball together even with Hayward back? I don't think on this slate that's really optimal to do. But in tournaments, I mean, yeah, like you could do that for sure. At that point, you're just kind of hoping that it's like a really high-scoring game. And if that's the case, you might want to have someone on the Warriors too. You fading Bradley Beal tonight? I mean, I don't think Beal, like I'm only playing one lineup on DK and one lineup on Yahoo. I don't think I'm getting to Beal in my one lineup. But, if I was playing multiple lineups, obviously Beal would be in my player pool for sure. What do you think about Halliburton? Yeah, Halliburton, he got the minutes last game. He was just really bad. If we get a scenario where all those Kings guys are out, I think the minutes will definitely be there for Halliburton. The production has been kind of inconsistent this year. Like he's had games where he plays like 30 minutes and doesn't do anything, but he'd be viable. He wouldn't be like a top play. There'd be other guys I'd rather get to on the Kings over him, but he would definitely be someone you could consider. Morant, Rozier, Butler, Bielitsa, Bagley, Fox, Tillman, Bain. That looks pretty solid, Alex. Most of the issues with the minutes with the Kings players is their coach is absolutely clueless. Yeah, it seems like, I don't know. It seems like Luke Walton just needs to get the hell out of there. That'd make things a lot easier for us, that's for sure. Anytime I load up on Kings guys, I feel like it never works. It actually did work last time with Bagley and Bielitsa, but I feel like I'm going to get screwed somehow tonight. I watched that Kings game. Bielitsa must have got 6 to 8 fantasy points in the last meaningless minute of the game. Walton is an a-hole. Be careful. Bielitsa came out really hot in that game. Good stuff, Noah. Gonna go gamble on my phone. God bless Michigan passing online gambling. Good luck, everyone. Want to hear that someone had a massive hit tomorrow. Hey, good luck, David. Wish you the best of luck, man. I wish we could do that here in South Carolina. Wish that sports betting was legal. Maybe one day. Who are your favorite Grizzlies for tonight? I think for the value, it's assuming their starting lineup is what I expect it to be. I think my favorite values on DraftKings are Bain and Tillman, assuming they're both starting. And I think John Morant's a lot better option now, or he's a better option now. So is Valanciunas. Why is it a coach doesn't like playing Whiteside? Yeah, like that's another thing. I know Whiteside, he probably isn't someone that really, is going to help your team in the long run, but he can at least go out there and crash the boards and be a guy that stand on the basket, block shots, protect the rim. Whiteside should probably be getting more minutes than he is. It's great. Like, Whiteside should be a starting center in this league. I don't know why especially with how much money he's been making. Like, he's good enough to be a starter. I keep getting lineups with a lot of Grizzlies. I mean, yeah, I'm going to be right there with you. I mean, they're so short-handed, it makes sense. You think Marc Gasol will get in foul trouble versus Bam? I mean, he could. I don't know if that's something I can really predict, but he could. LaMelo or De'Aaron Fox? I think if you have the salary, you can go LaMelo, but man, they're both really good. I think they're both really good plays. Fox, I feel like, is probably the more optimal play. He's probably like the cash game option, whereas LaMelo should be lower owned. Listen, Sacramento's the worst controlled team in sports history. It's not Luke's fault. He gets paid to shut up and play who the league wants him to. Go watch the 2004 West Conference Finals. I mean, I never really liked Luke Walton even when he was with the Lakers. J-Val Canner or Ayton? I think right now I prefer Ayton, but like all three of those guys I think are really good center options. Thanks again for doing this, Noah. Good luck to you and all of my fellow Noah fans here tonight. Hey, I appreciate that, David. Good luck, man. Good luck. Appreciate you being here. I'm playing DK on Yahoo. I'm from California, and they haven't legalized it with you. I feel you, man. I mean, I got to sports bet once when I went up to Tennessee for a weekend, but I haven't. That was the only time I've ever been able to sports bet legally. Whiteside has terrible work ethic. I mean, yeah, that is true. Like, Whiteside's definitely a dude that, like, I don't know. He can get pissed off and just not care anymore. And I think that's one of the reasons, like, Eric Spoelstra, like, would have those games where he would just not play Whiteside. Just Whiteside would do something that would, like, piss him off, and then he wouldn't play him. I understand that. Fox minutes have been down lately, so he would be low owned. I mean, some of that's been due to blowout. Like, they've been getting in blowouts lately. I think as long as games are close, we're getting 38 minutes from Fox, if not close to that. Have you ever tried Super Draft? I have. I have an account there. I don't play too often, but yes, I do have a Super Draft account. Any good runbacks from Phoenix? I mean, the two guys I like most from Phoenix are Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton. And I don't think there's really anyone else I'll be looking to on the Suns. Good luck, NBA fam. Know you're the best, and nobody can say otherwise. Peace, my dude. Much love. I appreciate that, Brian. Good luck tonight, man. Appreciate you being here. Good luck. If LA plays small ball with Olynyk, get minutes like last night when Golden State played small ball. I mean, what do you mean? Like, if LA plays small ball with Olynyk, oh, you're saying Olynyk will get more minutes? I mean, they could, but like lately they really haven't even been playing like Montrezl Harrell much. I mean, they did play Markieff Morris some last game. Well, like Bam's going to be out there for 35, 36 minutes, so they're going to have a big guy out there to guard Bam. Dame and Westbrook hate each other. If they don't get thrown out, I think they both go off huge games. I mean, yeah, they could. I do like Westbrook, or I do like Dame. Westbrook he's fine as well, but I think Dame I'd rather go to there. CP3 or Fox? Give me Fox over CP3. How's THT looking tonight? I'm getting quite a bit of him. I mean, yeah, I think he's totally in play. I feel better about the Memphis guys over THT, but yeah, he should be low owned. So I think Horton Tucker's for sure viable. The minutes are always a concern with him, but last game with no Schroeder, he got 26 minutes, so he probably gets close to that tonight. Is it a poor choice to run both LeBron and Lillard tonight, and go cheap at power forward center? I mean, I think that's totally fine. Totally fine to do. I mean, power forward has good value right now with Tillman. Gotta head out. Good luck, everyone. Make sure to hit the like button. Peace. Hey, I appreciate you being here, Dylan, as always, man. You're one of the regulars for sure. You're here every day. I appreciate you, Dylan. Good luck tonight, man. Good luck. We'll be live for about 5 more minutes, guys. I'm going to answer any last-minute questions you got, and then we'll head out. But appreciate you being here, as always, guys. Good luck on tonight's slate. Isn't Tillman the backup of Valanciunas when one of them was on the court, one sat down? Will both of them play a lot of minutes together on the court? Well, right now, MHP, right now Fantasy Labs has Tillman starting alongside Valanciunas. I think Gorgie Jang's going to be the backup to Joe Val. And Tillman, he'll get a lot of minutes of power forward. And if he's starting, I wouldn't be worried about that, obviously. 300 plus watching, 99 likes. Hit that thumbs up. Come on, this dude's bringing you value every day. Hey, I appreciate that, BJ. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. We got over 300 people in here. That's pretty awesome. I figured, going live a little bit later, we'd be able to get more people in. So appreciate all you being here, as always. Hit that like button. What's your favorite game to stack? I mean, it's probably going to be like Phoenix and Memphis, just because I like so much from Memphis. I don't know if I'm going to be playing like a ton of Phoenix guys, but I think Ayton and Chris Paul are for sure going to be in my player pool. Like I could see playing like Ayton and Paul and then 4 Phoenix guys or 4 Memphis guys. Totally fine with that. Good luck. See you either tomorrow or Monday. Not sure yet if I'll be live tomorrow or if I have a video up for tomorrow. That's to be determined. But yeah, I'll definitely be back Monday. So if I don't see you tomorrow, guys, I'll see you on Monday for sure. And good luck tonight, Adam. Good luck, man. Fox over Ja and Cash if you've got the salary? Yes. It's close, but yes, I think I would go with Fox. Is Melton a bad pick at his price tag? Not if he's starting. If he's starting, I feel confident that the minutes will at least be there to where he can pay off that price. So, yeah, I'm fine with Melton even at his price point, even though it's came up a little bit. Which Grizz player, if you could only pick one? I mean, I think when you factor in salary, it'd be between Bane or Tillman. I think I'd probably go with Tillman. Love this show. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I'm glad you like it. Are you worried about CP3 resting? What about Booker instead? I mean, I'm not worried about that. I'd assume if Chris Paul's going to rest tonight, we're going to find out, some point. It's not like we're just going to get word that he's out. Obviously, if he does wind up resting, though, I don't think it's going to happen. But if he does, yes, Booker becomes a great play. Normally, when guys wind up resting, though, we find that out like in the afternoon. So since they haven't said anything, I'm assuming Chris Paul's playing tonight. Let's cash tonight. No, I haven't cashed in a few days. Hey, well, good luck, Chris, man. Good luck. Let's cash tonight. Let's get it. Good luck tonight, everyone. Hope y'all come in second to my smash. Good luck, Dave. Good luck. Yeah, like I say, if I don't take down a tournament, I hope it's one of you guys. Appreciate you, Noah. Thanks, bro. Hey, thanks, Scott. Appreciate you being here, man. Good luck tonight. Is Enes Kanter a good play? Yeah, I'm totally fine with Kanter tonight. I think I'd prefer Ayton probably over him, but like Ayton, Kanter, J-Val, I think all those guys look really good in that mid-range at center. Those are probably my 3 favorite center plays, and Tillman you could throw in there as well. He's center eligible on Draftkings. But all right, guys, I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. I appreciate all you guys tuning in as always. Best of luck tonight on this 5-game slate. For all of you that donated today, thank you as well for the donations, guys. I really do appreciate it. Best of luck tonight. I will see you. If I don't see you guys tomorrow, if I don't go live tomorrow, if I don't have a video up for tomorrow, I will definitely be back on Monday. So I'll see you guys soon. Good luck tonight. Let's win some money. Good luck, fellas. And hit that like button, boys. Hit that like button before we get out of here.